A pleasure is a dream killer. Well, there are reasons that we do not achieve our full potential in life, and one of them is pleasure seeking habits. I know a lot of people that are very ambitious in life, but yet they're very lazy and they are distracting themselves with activities that will give them instant gratification or just a temporary pleasure. And the pleasure itself can make you lazy as well. If you are the type of person who hasn't achieved some type of freedom in life and you were at the mercy of your job and your situation in whichever you are at the moment, and you are not happy with where you are currently at this moment, seeking pleasure isn't should it's not something that you should be looking after. It should come as the last option in life for you. Now, recently I've just given an example. I was with this friend who went out with one person on a date, and I know this person is struggling in life. He has a shitty job, he's not making enough money, his family is dependent on his income, but yet he still chooses to go after activities and things that will just give him a short-term pleasure and avoid the work that he needs to do in the first place. So after this meeting that we had after his date, I told him how everything went with your date yesterday, and he was explaining how expensive it was for him to stay there and how much he paid and all those things. And in my mind, all those times I was thinking about it, like, if you are not financially stable at this moment, if you have not achieved some sort of freedom, what is the point of going out with someone at this moment of your life when you haven't achieved nothing and the only stress that you have after meeting someone is the amount of money that you have spent? If that's your reality, you shouldn't be going out. If pleasure is the only comfort in your life, you're doing something wrong in life. And this is a pattern with a lot of people. How many of you from the age of 18 to 25 or all the way till age 30, if you just think about the last 5 years, I'm sure one of the biggest obstacles in your way of becoming financially stable and get the freedom of your life is because most of you, including myself, we decided to pursue pleasure instead of real goals. And this pleasure could be different type. It could be girls, it could be addiction to different drugs, it could be just wasting your time on going out with your friends, just wasting time on social media, whatever the form of pleasure is. But if you look at it at the end of the day, it's the pleasure and the laziness that comes with approaching those activities that was the main reason for not achieving your full potential in life. I think at one point of our life, we have to understand that there should be an end point to certain things. What I see is that at this age, a lot of the people in their mid 30s, they still act and do things as if they are still teenagers. As we grow older, there are certain patterns and habits in our life that we should leave them in the past, and we have to get serious with certain aspects of our life. But that's not the case. Some people have a hard time to understand and realize this fact that They are no longer teenagers. They are no longer in their 20s. They are approaching 30s. They are approaching, mid 20s. And things that you could afford to do when you were 16, 17, 18, or 20, you can no longer do those certain things. And at one point in life, you have to get serious. And let me give you this one important point, that slowly things can get really ugly in life. There will be times that you will be stressed. There will be a valid reason for you to be stressed about certain aspects and area of your life. But if you have prepared yourself, and if you have now wasted all your energy and time on this pleasure seeking activities, you will be ready and you will be able to handle it. But if you are just the type of person who is just all the time busy on wasting his time on the pleasure seeking activities, watching reels online, wasting your time on social medias, going out, doing parties, not giving time to your goals, you will have a hard time. So you have to make a decision in life that what type of suffering you want. Some people might not agree with the message that I have, and I totally understand. Some of you might say, well, I just want to enjoy the current moment and I don't care about the future. Well, that's understandable, but there are suffering in life, and you have to accept what kind of suffering you choose to have in life. You can ignore the future reality by just pursuing pleasure or laziness at this moment, but sooner or later, every action has a consequence, and that consequence will come to you. And I'm afraid to tell you that sometimes you will regret it, that I wish I hadn't spent all those years on all those activities which was not worth it, and now I have to repay all those things back. And you have to understand that after certain years of your life, the type of energy and the drive and the focus that you have over the time, it's not the same as you have it at this moment. It will eventually decline. So the best thing that you can do is to start early and slowly build up on that. And once you reach certain goals in life, you will always have time for these pleasure seeking activities in life. What is worse than going out with someone and your only concern is that the bill was high, you couldn't afford it? What is the point of going out at night and then the next morning you have to wake up and complain about your job, that how shitty your job is? I mean, some of us are not built to work for other people. If you're the type of person that always desire to be financially stable, to not work for anyone, it's very difficult. It's not easy. You have to be very disciplined with every aspect of your life, and you can't miss any marks in that regards. And to be successful at what you are doing, you have to be very disciplined at a lot of things as well. So what I think is that we have to understand that pleasure seeking activities can have bad consequences for the future as well. So if you're the type of person that always wastes their time and later on regrets it, but still has goals and haven't done anything, I think the best way is to ask yourself that what are the things that I'm doing for pleasure that are just wasting my time and it's not helping me in achieving my goals, and something that I can avoid or I can work on improving that will help me with achieving my goals. I think each of one of us will be able to easily find those things, and if you eliminate them, I'm sure that things can change in the future. So instead of going after a temporary pleasure at this moment, it's better to postpone it for now, work on your future, and once you achieve certain goals, then you can work on all those other pleasure-seeking activities that once you missed in your life, and there will be always a time for this. Thank you.